When was the last time one of your varieties got its butt kicked by a competitor's variety? How did that affect your self-confidence to keep selling? It's every seed seller's goal to have their products perform at the top on every customer's farm every year. Unfortunately, that doesn't always happen. And it's not because the wrong varieties were sold. The answer is twofold. First, you sell a living, breathing organism where 80% of its performance is out of your control, i.e. Mother Nature. Second, the control that you do possess is completely squandered by most sellers because they don't get their own customers to help protect the performance of their varieties on a customer's farm. When salespeople ask me if there's a way to help them make sure their products perform on customers' farms every year, the first thing I ask them is, what's your average order size for the customers you sell? That question almost always generates a look of confusion on their faces. And I know one thing from that look. Those salespeople don't know how to manage the most important factor in selling: ensuring their products perform to customers' expectations. Most sellers don't realize that the larger the percentage of acres a farmer commits to your seed, the more committed he will be to make sure your varieties perform to their potential on his farm. Few sales reps even realize that one of the greatest factors determining how their products perform on customers' farms has little to do with the products themselves. Instead, a large part of your product's success is based on the size of the order new prospects buy from you the first time. When I've sold small trial quantities to new buyers who are planting a lot more of competitors' products than were planting of mine, and I outperformed those competitive varieties, most of those new buyers didn't buy more the next year. In fact, I discovered that most new buyers really didn't want me to win on their farms. Even when I would take top honors in on-farm test plots, the grower who hosted a test plot still wouldn't buy. Why? Because in both cases, I wasn't competing against someone else's product. I was competing against the customer's perception of who he was already buying from. Every farmer has a brand in his mind he considers to be number one, and that favorite brand is based mostly on the person he is buying from, not just the product itself. He perceives that favorite brand as the best and the one he wants to win. If his favorite brand gets beat by this new trial brand, he believes it was an accident and demands you to do it again. And he just makes excuses for getting beat and doesn't buy again. So the first step to winning on a farmer's farm is to get him to want you to win. And that means getting him to step up and commit to planting more of your products than would normally buy the first time from anyone else. When he commits to a higher percentage of his acres to your products than he expected to commit, he simultaneously shifts his thinking from a trial mentality to a more serious producer mentality. So when you switch from selling trial order sizes to selling larger minimum order sizes, not only does the average order size in your territory increase significantly, but your product performance ratings go up and sales skyrocket because your chances of winning are increased. That happens because the buyer himself becomes more committed to you and your product's success. New prospects who buy at those higher levels the first time have more invested in you and your products than they ever expected, and now need you to do well on their farms. When you sell a new first-time buyer a small amount of product, will he plant your products first, before he plants his favorites? No. He'll plant yours last. When he does plant your varieties, will he plant them on his best ground or his worst ground? Most definitely, he will plant your varieties on his worst ground. Will he want you to win? No. He will want you to lose. So if your chances of winning are that low, you simply need to walk away from a prospective buyer without an order, because you can't win against those kinds of odds. Now I know that the average seed seller thinks the whole idea of walking away from an order of any size is crazy. Especially in this difficult selling environment, most will call me a heretic for even talking about it. But most average sellers take the small orders because they feel pressured to make those sales goals that they're given. And they believe that if they get a buyer started with their seed, he will buy even more the next year. But over the years, hundreds of companies have offered trial amounts for new buyers, or heck, have even given away free seed, hoping to get a bigger sale next year. And many have tried it, but no one has made it work long term. In addition, let's look at the concept of selling minimum order sizes from a time management standpoint. Running small trial orders is a very slow, laborious, inefficient way to grow a business. As an example, a sales rep gets each of 20 new prospects to buy 12 units of one of his varieties. That's a total of 240 units. On the surface, that looks like a success story, but contrast that strategy to this one. Another sales rep develops a minimum order size policy, prepares and practices and follows the seed seller blueprint when they begin prospecting. Remember, prospecting is interviewing to see if you want that person as a future customer. It's not selling. The rep interviews 10 growers for 5 minutes each, decides to set appointments with 7 of them, and eventually sells 4 of them. This sales rep has a minimum order size, let's say 60 units, a pallet with 3 varieties on the pallet. That's 240 units to 4 committed farmers, not 20 growers who are going to simply put you on trial. This rep will be back on every one of those 4 farms the next season with a much larger seed order because he spread his product risk and he has more time to spend with each one of his buyers. The previous rep will not only lose more than half of those 20 buyers, but the ones he loses will talk negatively about his products. Why don't people develop a minimum order size strategy and stick to it? Because they don't actually believe they themselves bring that much additional value to support an order of that size. One of the best ways to make sure your products perform on every customer's farm every year and grow your sales the fastest is by increasing the average order size to customers in your territory. But when I teach this strategy at my live training sessions, it's always followed with questions like, how do I know what size order should be the minimum for the products I sell and for the geography I cover? How do I get new prospects to buy the minimum order size? And what do I do differently with those new buyers to make sure they want me to win? Or how do I respond when a farmer says, I won't take 60 units, but I will try 24 units? You see, most sales reps jump at this counter offer, but it's a huge mistake. When you attend our upcoming sales training workshop, I'm going to answer all these important questions, plus give you word-for-word scripts on what to say and how to say it when a farmer won't take your minimum order size. This script allows you to walk away from a sale and not look ungrateful in the eyes of the grower. But when you execute it properly, most often the farmer will respect your minimum order size and actually take it. Take a quick moment and ask yourself, has selling seed become more difficult? Do you find it harder to prospect and even get an appointment with farmers today? Are you feeling frustrated or starting to lack confidence to turn your sales around? Does it seem like farmers only have price in their minds and don't see the true value you bring to the sale? Are you struggling to be the sales leader or manager you know deep down you're capable of being? Then it's time to become the confident, effective sales leader you are meant to be. To do that, you need to follow 3 simple steps to a better sales future. Number 1, get registered for our live training workshop. There are only a few tickets left, so get registered now. Number 2, learn the Seed Seller Blueprint framework for selling today's sophisticated growers. And 3, execute and watch your sales explode. My job is to be your guide and help you follow a blueprint to achieve the sales and financial success you've always dreamed for yourself and your family. If you're ready to take your confidence and sales to new heights, then get registered today.
Succeeding in this business is about you. You and only you. That's why I'm going to take away your products. I'm going to take away your price, your programs, and all your technologies, and we're going to learn to sell without them. You don't need those things. There's only one reason why you succeed in this business, and that's because of you. So you can look at these and admire them all the time. I'm going to teach you how to win a war without a weapon. Because I believe if you learn how to fight a war without the advantage of having a weapon, it means you have to run, fight at night, hide sometimes, attack only when you have the advantage that when I give you back your weapon, you'll win the war. And if I can teach you how to sell in this marketplace without a technology advantage, a product advantage, price advantage, or program advantage, that when I give you back your tools like that, your sales will go geometric because you'll understand true selling tactics, just like you'll understand true battle tactics in a war. That's the secret to succeeding. It's all about you.